When Daniel Brooks stepped out of Greenwood State Prison after 9 long years, the cold American morning hit his face harder than any punishment he had ever received. As the heavy gate closed behind him with a final metallic sound, he realized freedom wasn't loud or joyful like he had imagined. It was quiet, empty, and frightening. No one stood on the sidewalk waiting for him. No parents, no wife, no children, no friends. There was only a bus stop sign and a road stretching into a life that had already moved on without him. He carried everything he owned in a thin plastic bag: 2 shirts, worn shoes, and a folded letter he had written to himself years ago, promising he would become a better man if he ever got another chance. As he boarded the bus toward a small town in Ohio where no one knew his face, he watched neighborhoods pass by and wondered if society would ever allow him to be more than the word ex-con. Prison had taken his youth, but guilt had taken his peace. Every night, inside those walls, he replayed the mistake that sent him, their reckless act fueled by anger that destroyed a family, shattered his own, and left a stain he could never erase. The shelter he stayed at smelled of old blankets and quiet desperation. Each night, Daniel lay awake, listening to coughing, crying, and prayers whispered into darkness, asking himself if change really mattered when the world refused to forget. Then one early morning, he saw a small diner with flickering lights and a handwritten sign taped to the window: "Help wanted dishwasher." Even though his hands trembled, he walked inside, knowing rejection had become familiar. When the owner, an older woman named Mrs. Thompson, asked about his past, Daniel didn't lie. He told her he had been to prison, that he was trying to rebuild, that he didn't expect trust, only a chance to work. For a long moment, she said nothing, just studied his tired eyes and scarred hands. Then she handed him an apron and said, "You show up tomorrow at 6 a.m. and we'll see." That single sentence felt heavier than freedom because someone had placed responsibility in his hands again. Daniel scrubbed dishes like his life depended on it. He burned his fingers, stayed late without being asked, and spoke little, knowing actions mattered more than apologies. Slowly, the regular customers began to notice him the way he held doors, cleaned tables without complaint, and helped an elderly veteran named Mr. Lewis walk to his seat every morning. One day, when the diner was robbed late at night, suspicion fell on Daniel immediately. The police questioned him harshly, old labels resurfacing. He stood there calmly answering every question, even opening his locker without protest. When the real thief was caught on camera, Mrs. Thompson looked at Daniel with something close to tears and said, "I'm sorry they doubted you." In that moment, Daniel realized redemption wasn't loud applause, but quiet endurance. Months passed. Daniel saved every dollar, moved out of the shelter into a tiny rented room, and sent part of his paycheck anonymously to the family he had once hurt, not to erase the past, but to honor responsibility. One Sunday afternoon, he volunteered at a community center teaching troubled teens how to cook, telling them honestly what prison takes from you: time, dignity, and the illusion of toughness. One boy asked him, "Do people ever forgive you?" Daniel paused before answering. "Some don't, and that's their right. But I forgive myself by doing better every day." Years later, when Daniel finally earned his GED, stood on a small stage, and heard his name called with applause instead of judgment, he closed his eyes. He remembered that bus stop, that plastic bag, that fear, and he understood something deeply American and deeply human: that second chances are not given all at once, but earned slowly through humility, consistency, and courage. A man is not the worst thing he has done, but the effort he makes every day to become better. If you are listening to this feeling trapped by your past, remember this: the door may open quietly, but if you walk through it with honesty and effort, a new life can still be built, one small, brave step at a time. Thanks for watching.